Yeah, I was thinking maybe the Ember route, but that doesn't really help with that there.
Yeah, Ember's a little too... It's okay. And they're going to go for a Drow Ranger. So kind of similar to Death Prophet, that silence is really good this game.
Okay.
But it's also weird. They're picking a Drow with
no
2 melee cores.
Synergy, yeah.
But Drow by herself is still really good right now.
She is.
Like, I think this is actually a completely legitimate place to pick a Drow core without any other range heroes, just because silence is god tier against everybody on Empire.
Yeah.
Every single hero needs to cast their spells to be effective. You can, as long as Kuman doesn't have Manta yet, you can easily gank that guy with silence. You can level up really fast. If Empire plays passive, Drow's going to get really far ahead in levels. It also gives him a really good tower hitter. Maybe not really good, but a good tower hitter.
Yeah.
I feel like the Pango also doesn't have very good pressure. It's not super easy for them to move around the map and get kills because they have Keeper of the Light. So I just feel like Drow Ranger, if she has a relatively okay laning stage, she's going to hit jungle. She's going to be like level 13 when everybody's like level 9. And then they're just going to move around the map pushing.
Breaky, what's it going to look like for the Pango to win?
For the Pango to win, I suppose try to take advantage of some of their lanes. They do have the Lich Juggernaut, always a scary lane combo in itself. Try to get Juggernaut off to that good start and kind of take momentum from there.
Probably puck roam.
Okay.
Yeah, puck roam. Really, but it is going to be tough. The silence is big, and I do agree. Drow, especially with their reiteration, she is better now individually as a hero. So even though they don't have that core synergy, I still think I'm going to go Gambit.
Gambit.
Is Gambit on the right?
Yeah, we're on the right. Yeah.
Yep.
The Drow. I would say Gambit. I think the Drow is a perfect pick here. Pango can win, but I think the Drow is an easier game.
Loot.bet really liked the draft for Gambit and gives them. It was like I think a $1.50 something, but it will lower to $1.47. So they liked what happened in that draft, and they're choosing also to go with Gambit. But this is the elimination game. One team is going home. Let's get it started.
In here.
One team is going home. Let's find out who it is. Gambit versus the Pango with myself, Sheever, and Kyle. And I think for the Pango, 2 games in a row, they were not the favorite in terms of team fight. They're like, we're going to fix that. Let's get an Enigma on board. So now they definitely have the favor in team fight. But you also heard, panel, they love the Drow pick from Gambit.
I think the old style of Drow wouldn't have fit so well, but this new common, like, you see a blink, like 2nd or 3rd item on Drow, thanks to Thompson. You don't need him to do much more except for be that utility hero that finds this key silence and thus lands an easy kill on any of these squishy Pango heroes. And in addition, you still provide that crazy building damage, as Drows always have. And you look at Gambit's lineup, it's the definition of high tempo. You're ideally going to be winning this game before the BKB Enigma comes out. And Drows, as Purge said, is just king. Silence. It's just, I don't know if you played some Artifact, but this hero is pretty busted.
I do want to point out the previous game when we thought Gambit should have played faster, they didn't. So that could be something that could be troublesome if they don't play fast enough. Because what is there really to disable the black hole once Enigma gets a BKB? And I'm thinking that because this Enigma, by the way, is golden Enigma. And I think the only thing is a bash. If you can get in the right position, which is still very tricky to do.
That's a good point. I agree with you.
Wow. It doesn't happen very often. Can everybody take note?
Whoa.
Thank you.
That's not true.
That's not true. I say a lot of smart stuff sometimes.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that.
Looks like runes will be split 2 for 2. Never mind, 3 for 2, because Ursa came out from the south and just came out of nowhere, and Gambit takes 3. Nice start for them. Sarge was by himself securing that rune, and Enigma can. Well, he only has what's left to block the wave. Get some creeps. Hey, wait a second. Was there also... Did he deny 2 creeps already? No. Oh, no, it's just 1. I didn't see one of them. We're fine. Oh, we're fine. I was going to say, you can't even deny 2 creeps before the thing starts. It's not even possible.
This is... I think you're going to need to bring the Coddle towards bottom.
Yeah?
Just because of the way this matchup functions. Coddle against aggro tri-lanes is quite nice, because you just spam the wave. You can't really pressure. Mid, Drow versus Puck. I think Puck is a pretty distinct advantage for the first couple levels, because you just hit so much harder.
Yeah.
But you also have the ability to orb walk as the Drows, we can see already coming out from Alpha and J.
And you think that the Enigma will be fine against the Ursa solo?
Yes and no. The new Ursa runs so fast, and you can see he's just killing the creeps.
Yeah.
He's got super high base armor and a ton of regen, so it's definitely difficult for Ghostic. And he's actually going to pull creeps to the hard camp because Coddle has already taken away behind tower for the Enigma. But bear in mind, this keeps their bottom lane effectively just completely isolated. And Slayer, what are you doing, babe?
Oh, you know, just taking a stroll through the scenery.
Making my way downtown.
It's colder on the dire side, and he is a frost hero.
That's true.
So he just likes to be. He is going a very long way. He's just eating his way through the trees. Towers will spot him out just like the creeps. He blew his salve. He's just taking immersion with him. He's taking FNG with him. Actually, he will be first blood, but look at that space that the Juggernaut gets.
Are you sure he's going to be first blood?
Yeah. I'm sure he's
It was close.
first blood. But the Juggernaut getting some space for that, I don't think that's worth it, though. How much space can he really get against the CK? CK is not that bad by himself.
I think Pango need to make a change ASAP because right now your Jug is getting absolutely nothing, and he's your sole source of physical damage.
Oh, we do have ZyEdge moving to that bottom lane. He's going to start blasting if he can. Indeed, Afterlife, the target of that. But again, I mean, there's a Chen and there's a Shadow Demon. It's not that bad on the side of Gambit. They can deal with this. In terms of aggressive tri-lane, who do you... Like, which of these sides do you favor? Which would you rather play as? On the bottom lane only, like in a vacuum.
Oh, now that Coddle's here, I think the Pango is favored.
Okay.
It's just, you can't really lose the lane. Spam blast, somebody gets gone on, you just frost shield, and it's very easy to turn kills around as a Juggernaut, notably onto the roster or the Chen. You don't want to go for the CK, but for now, you're still a bit outmatched. I don't like, because the thing about Coddle is the idea is you push in the initial waves and then you fight with the creep wave. But now that he's come late, like the best you're going to be hoping for is trading.
Yeah.
It's just not as ideal. And you can see Chen's already strong enough FNG, going to just deny the Coddle's ability to pull creeps. So you can't do that push-pull that you'd prefer to be able to do.
Yep.
Oh,
whoa, actually, he's taking a lot of damage here. And with the shield as well, Slayer, the blast coming through as well. That should be a kill going the way of the Pango as long as they can keep the vision up, which actually might be tricky. FNG, ooh, he stopped for a second at the... Oh, wait, he should have just hid in the trees. Or he wanted to try and save some time for Immersion to come in and maybe kill ZyEdge that second earlier. But, I mean, he does get the kill. That does turn into a trade. And yeah, he's going to get forced to teleport back here on the Keeper of the Light because Immersion has enough mana to get an Ether Shock out as well. A double kill for this Shadow Shaman. That's a great start for him.
They were talking about on the panel there's no ranged heroes, but that meant no ranged cores. Both these supports utilize the Drow Aura, and you can see the Divine Favor cast by FNG. He does know he's going to go down, so he ensures to get that buff off onto the Shadow Shaman, and that helps him secure both of those kills. Top lane, Doc Hawk?
The Hawk?
The Hawk,
The Hawk is getting harassed. We do know, I mean, his last hits are a little bit inflated because of the Eidolons. But he is doing well. And so is the CK. His last hits are not inflated. He is literally sitting on 22 last hits. But most importantly, if you're an aggressive tri-lane, those 13 denies, they stack up.
You know, and this is the one downside of the Pango's lineup in that they've got Coddle Lich, right? These are not aggro supports. They're defensive. And in this laning phase, you don't offer much other than just whatever abilities you're casting in the lane. You can't affect the status quo anywhere else. Nobody can rotate mid on this Drow.
Divine Favor chasing down Kuman with that CK. Yeah, that's always scary. Look at a couple of hits. He's out of regen now too with Ada's last tango, which I think he got given anyway. Oh, we're 5 minutes in. It's already 2k gold in favor of Gambit. That is a lot of gold. You might have nice team fight if you're Pango, but you do need to make it to that point where you can actually team fight properly and have enough gold, enough items to be able to live through these team fights and be the one to instigate them. Because if Gambit starts running at you, that's a problem. They've got some catch with that Ursa and the CK. And perhaps Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman too, especially if the Shadow Shaman continues getting kills and farming. They are going to get the Drow Ranger here in mid by the looks of things. FNG not able to save him with that Divine Favor. Actually, Naive also
Don't break the coil.
Don't break the coil. That does a lot of damage. That got buffed like 2 patches ago or something.
Yeah, if you stay in the coil, I think you at least have a shot at living there, FNG, but that's way too much damage when you break it. It's like 300.
Yeah, this is a support Chen. Can't really do that. Although I think he was dead either way.
Nice
just
move.
like Ghosting.
Nice move from Immersion. Is an Enigma at this stage of the game. You're going to be pushing at all times, so just rotate over, punish him, We're looking to get involved on that catapult wave. Chen's going to take over his own, just look to start hitting this tower. His CK is very farmed, so you want to try and always play around your strongest hero. At the moment, that is for sure. Old Afterlife on this CK. Got his phase boots, got his bracer.
Looking solid. Keeper of the Light and Juggernaut. With Blade Fury, like, you get a double Blade Fury, is that good enough as a combo? Or do you really want to have that Lich there, so you maybe have 2 blasts or something? Like, what's the synergy there? We've seen Zayat being so active in these games every time, mostly Shadow Demon, of course. But now he's playing this Keeper of the Light, and I feel like he can't do as much as he wants to, first of all, but also just as he needs to.
I actually think it's a really good point. I like Zayak when he's on these playmakers, but when he's on a farming hero, it often feels like Pango might just have too many cores at a point. No one's sacrificial.
Walk around. It's going to be too late to save his teammate, but at least he's going to be on time to take the kill on FNG. They break the coil anyway, but this time, though, I think Afterlife might be tanky enough to survive, but with the teleport in there from NaVi, or rather the rotation, no, they are not able to chase either.
He got his Divine Favor off before dying once again on an ally, FNG, the true team player, so. I was a bit concerned, though. I think if that spell isn't cast, you might have some trouble. Oh.
With the salve there as well. Zayak, level 5 CK hurts. But it's nighttime and no other visual aids. Hiding behind trees. Ooh, the jukes. I like it. But I mean, that's Zayak's strength, you know, being this elusive hero, being annoying to deal with. But as a Keeper of the Light, there's only so much you can do. Like this. You can do this. You can illuminate. Whoosh. Does hit 2. But yeah, that's kind of it, you know? That was their fighting potential.
And the downside is you have a harass-heavy lineup, right? But CK just spams crit attacks and heals himself like 100 a smack. Kuman's been forced to...
Favor.
And Jug is just not one of those heroes that can recover very easily. Like, not at all. Look at his items. And this is not looking good so far for Gambit because look, oh my... it is looking for Gambit. Look, they have 4 of the top 5 net worths.
Yeah, they look great.
And the problem is nobody with the puck can affect the status quo. Like, he's going to have to make moves, which means that your strongest hero right now doesn't have the ability to, like, sit mid, kill this Rasta, look to accelerate. He's got to constantly look around the map.
Can he kill that, actually? Hello, team?
Help.
They should be. It's a Shadow Shaman. Can they kill this Shadow Shaman? They cannot. Immersion actually has enough mana to turn around, gets the hacks and the shackle off, and that turns that into a kill on the Juggernaut. That is disastrous. Sure, it's just 1 kill, but it's your core that went mid because that was the only place that he could even hope to get some last hits.
And he gives him the tip, Sheeves.
Yeah,
he gives him the tip.
are there.
Oh.
I mean, we said it previous game already. I mean, we saw NaVi previous game on the PA. NaVi is the original carry of the Pango, and Kuman is, of course, a stand-in. And in this game, with NaVi on the puck and Kuman on the Juggernaut, the Juggernaut does have a lot of pressure on him this game. And I kind of feel like perhaps you would want to swap that around. But at the same time, NaVi can perhaps buy enough time for Kuman to get big. That's his role as a puck. And we haven't seen that much from Ghostic either, but Ghostic is getting some farm. He has got his black hole up, and we might be seeing him use that to make some kind of a play. First though, FNG this time does not break the tether, but still dies as expected. Dream Coil used though. For support Chen. 3k gold in favor of Gambit.
And you can see it's nice. Like, you're getting a kill as puck. He's doing his job. A NaVi
denies. Yeah, I call JB, or Afterlife would love to take that. Just easy for him. Sitting on 13 denies.
Not just that, a Midas soon. Like 11-minute Midas on a CK. When you already have a pretty distinct late game advantage, you are banking on Zayak hitting some massive ultimates, and then eventually 2 massive ultimates per engagement. And probably need some help from the offlaner as well.
I think he wants to make up for previous game when he died on that Tidehunter in the Radiant jungle and basically caused them to, I wouldn't say lose the game, but it didn't help. It did open that opportunity for Pango to finish it out. And he's just, he's making it right. Zayat teleports out, knows that there's people hunting him down. They also use the wards to take out that bottom tier 1 tower. In the meantime, top lane, at least Pango can push decently as well with the Eidolons from Ghostic's Enigma. Well, they should at least keep them alive until they split, though. That will allow the push to go a little bit faster. At least they can trade towers, sort of, depending on if they can actually finish. Yeah, they should be able to finish this. It's fine. All right, so what's the Pango gonna do, Kyle? They're in a bad spot.
That was a pretty good start. You've got the Midas on your own offlaner. Now Ghostic Enigma finishes his up. He's got to buy time for your Jug. I think you need to try and find some way to get your Jug involved in this game, because the problem you're going to have as a draft is that you run out of damage in the mid to late game transition. And Gambit can recognize this if they get a look at Kuman's item progression and think, okay. And I feel like they've already done this in a way, because they have a Midas coming out on Dahak as well.
Yeah.
They realize, look, these two heroes, we're so far ahead of this Jug that if we just double down on our ability to transition to the late game, yeah, we might end up playing against double Coddle ult, double Enigma ult, whatever. But they're never going to have the real power to threaten our structures. They won't be able to take Roshan. And eventually, we'll just be so far ahead in the macro game that perhaps we just win by default.
Do you agree with the item build, going for the drums first for this Jugger? At least it might allow him to fight earlier, maybe?
My problem with it is that it's not bad, don't get me wrong, but I actually think if there were ever a game to go like Midas Jug, this would be it. Just so you have some way of getting back into the game. When you go drums, you're all in on this concept of, well, I'm going to get things done. Yeah,
they used a Will-O-Wisp for that, and Immersion knows that was their only disable, unless that Enigma comes close enough, and he doesn't have a blink, so that's the Will-O-Wisp. That's a 2-minute cooldown. Kuman, silenced up, can spin in a second. Might have to be forced to, might be forced to use it, but no. By the way, Ursa taking Roshan, because he can. Very easy, and he knows that there's no Will-O-Wisp. The team fight of the Pango, it's very strong, but they have to actually group up and use everything and hope that everybody of Gambit is there.
And he's doing that with Midas, keep in mind. He's just like, oh, I got Midas, guys, let's go Roche. And that Ice Ogre from FMG tanks it for quite some time, and by the point of that it's ready to die, the Hawk can just pop his ult and overpower and just take down the big monkey. And
easy 13
now
cents.
now it's easy mid tower, and if you're Gambit, you've already acquired so much map control. Why give it back, you know? Just camp their woods, keep a CK here, look to play around, play split, you know, keep accelerating. You can certainly find kills.
Oh my, if he has got that blink dagger, it's on cooldown for the moment. He does dodges the silence, and he has a haste rune as well, so he should be fine. His pucks often are in tricky situations. One of the most elusive heroes in the game.
I'm glad he's back in the meta.
But is he really though? I mean, a little bit, but I wouldn't call him back in the meta.
Close enough. If it's one of those heroes that all it takes is someone truly adapting it to a support role or an offlane role, and then once you have that
multi-purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Once you become multi-purpose, oh my god,
dear.
the proc from the ultimate.
Jeez, that is Kuman. He's alive for the moment. The healing ward keeping him alive. Slayer coming in as well. Omni Slash on Afro Ninja on the Hawk, but he doesn't do anything. Afro Ninja lives to see another day. Same cannot be said for Slayer. Kuman dropped down by the Hawk as well as Naive. Wow. Nah, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Helping his teammates, sure, but there's a time where you have to know when to back off. That was just Gambit. That was a skirmish, and that's what Gambit thrives off.
Yeah, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, Sheaves. And
yeah,
they folded, but
Regen rune
against their will. And that's the downside of the draft. As you can see, they ran out of damage. Coil goes out. Yeah. Lich ends up getting killed off before he can get a spell.
I must say that Dro was really lucky with getting like 2 pure arrows in a row or something like that.
Regular
Are they called pure arrows? What's the name?
Piercing? No. Marksman. Well, they're marksmanship.
Is that the name of the ult? But what's the name of the arrow?
Bullseyes. That's what they are.
They hurt. That's what they do. That is the power of the Dro. Doesn't matter how much armor you have. You're gonna be dropping hard. Even frost armor can't save you from that. But then again, there was no Ghostic there. We have yet to see Ghostic in a fight, and I don't even know if the Pango wants to do that, because with Ghostic still farming, it at least gives an extra like element to the game for the Pango that, you know, you always have to be worried that it's there. You at least make sure that Gambit doesn't just group up and go, because there's the threat of the black hole. But there's the threat of the black hole, and there's just the absence of it. And I kind of feel the absence more than the threat at the moment. Especially because he shows on the map almost the entire time.
Gambit's lineup is made to move fast, and
They are.
Enigma, especially when you go that Midas, he needs so much time to come online.
Nope,
I don't know if he's going to get it this
forward.
game.
Lightning Light helping him out. Or not helping him out, it was actually slowing him down.
The reality rift goes off. That probably is a
hello!
kill. Oh,
It's a black hole, actually!
Oh, no.
Afterlife helps out by jumping right into that. Ninja does get the silence up, but maybe with the Will-O-Wisp, the Illuminate going through it as well. They do get 2 kills. One of those was just in ages, though. The Will-O-Wisp is still active. Can they kill off that CK before anything else? They can. Now they have to look at taking out the Hawk. In the meantime, the Drow Ranger already gave up. She got out, and just as he gets out, that was just a teleport, and there's not that much interruption once.
So that was about as good of a fight as you could possibly hope for Pango.
They got 3 kills. I mean, and I'm including the Aegis in that because that's a big one.
But they got 2 kills. That Aegis had a minute left. 2 kills, and they lose the tier 2 and 1.
Yeah, that's
just saying. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Well played by the Hawk as well to find that kill, then TP out. He also made sure that the target he went for was the only hero that had that interrupt.
Yeah.
And you know it's good and everything, Sheeves, but that was the dream. That was literally the dream. CK was like, oh, I can stun this guy. Oh, darn, I don't have cast animation.
Yeah, and
you ever do something like that?
Enigma like, having the black hole not interrupted, what?
Like, you know, let's say, you know, you like start to do something, but then you realize like, shit, this is not going to work.
I have that with saying stuff. When I start saying stuff, and I'm like halfway through a sentence, and like, well, this sounds like rambling. I gotta stop this sentence right now, and then it's very difficult to close it out.
It's funny how you do this like self-policing of what you're saying, or self-evaluation of what you're saying while you're still talking, and it can be a bit awkward at times. You're like, oh, how do I stop this in a graceful way?
It's very familiar, unfortunately, but I have gotten better at just rounding up sentences, and then it's like, but what do you think?
That's why I like working with you at times, because sometimes I find myself stuck. I'm like, oh God, Kyle, like, not again, not none of these analogies. And then all of a sudden, Sheev steps in to be like, yeah, I totally see what you're talking about, but about the game.
That's, yeah, like, you can see it like that. Sometimes I just want to talk about the game. Oh, well, it's, yeah, no, unfortunately. See, there's one of those. Like,
now what?
Stuck. Now what? You can talk about top lane. That's what we, like, that's the, in my head, it's like, oh God, I can't continue talking about this top lane though.
Yeah. And kill a tower.
A lot of pressure going on.
Indeed.
But at the moment, Pango doesn't have Black Hole, so Gambit can just do whatever they want. The map is theirs for the moment. Black Hole should be up again soon, but they have got wards. I think they should even be able to take out this tier 2, because I don't think the Pango should want to fight.
I don't think so either. And
ooh, especially not when the Drow just solos Enigma.
They gotta be careful. They're gonna just beeline for you.
Reality Rift on the puck. Blink away.
That was the blink on FNJ, or it was Shadowblade, whatever the item is that he picked up. I think it was blink. You're just dead Enigma as soon as you catch that silence. It's like what Purge was talking about. We got a replay. Hello.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Yeah, there's silence. Enigma didn't even look like he acknowledged the presence of the Drow there. He just walks into his grave. In the meantime, the mid lane was pushed out by the Juggernaut, so there was no tier 2 tower mid that they could take off the back of that. But, I mean, that at the moment, this is just Gambit's game.
Yes, but it could change. You never know. The Wombo combo, Alliance was able to pull it off a couple times. I think if you're Pango, you need 2 huge wins. If you can do that, you might have a shot at taking this game. You're going to have Coddle Refresher up in about 5 to 7 minutes. Your Jug is slowly climbing back into the game, and you always have the threat of the Enigma Black Hole. But again, still no BKB cancel. He's got the blink finished. His BKB and the Coddle Refresher, you really have the team fight edge once these items are picked up.
I like that you say a lot of good things about the Pango, but you sound like you don't believe any of what you're saying.
I plead the 5th.
No, they are in a tough spot, but there are glimmers of hope. I do agree with that. There is this theory about the team fight of the Pango that could be amazing, but this theory cannot come into practice until the key elements are done, and the key elements don't look to be done in time.
And you can even see the way that Gambit's able to play this. Oh no.
That's a Will-O-Wisp. They need that.
Yeah.
You need that later on,
that spell's going to cost them a tier 2 now.
At least.
Yeah, because you have roster wards coming up in a sec. Roche has just spawned, or sorry.
No, that's an
he can spawn very soon. He can spawn possibly right now. We'll see the timer in just a moment.
That looks like about 1.5 minutes.
Sounds about right. Oh no.
Hex, naive. That's Puck. A lot of disable on the side of Gambit.
Oh no, you have roster wards and there's no coddle ult. Oh boy.
And there's no Puck, no buyback.
This is where, like, we saw this lack of aggression in the previous game by Gambit. I don't think they'll have that same hesitation here because they know how strong they are and they recognize, look, we don't want to have to fight in a BKB Enigma. Let's just go here. And they're going to get Slayer. Or the Hawk is waiting, maybe looking for more.
That's a black hole. Catches two, but the Hex is there instantly. Ghosted couldn't actually do anything there. Now getting stunned up. Maybe the force staff keeping him a little bit safe for now, but the Hawk is on the chase and should be able to finish off Ghosted in the meantime. We have Kuman trying to make things happen. No, he's just trying to run back to base, but that's not going to happen. Not if Afterlife has anything to say about it. There are 4 dead. Everybody has buyback available, and Puck is about to respawn. Yep. But that should be at least 1 buyback, and they don't have Black Hole anymore, and they don't have the Will-O-Wisp anymore. That big team fight is just not there.
So you got a question. Wouldn't it have been better if the Coddles to just die? Like, accept death, you know, and just say, look,
you mean when he was in the jungle and put out his thing? Yeah.
Yeah, you almost kill yourself off when you waste your huge ability and thus prevent yourself from being able to contribute. If he has the peel for an ultimate, when that Enigma ult goes down, maybe you're even able to turn that around, find some kills, find a fight. But now, Roche is spawned. You've got a little bit of a window where you know, again, these ults are not off cooldown, and you just walk straight into the pit, and that's what they do.
You know what that is? That is one of those pub mentalities. It's like, well, if I use my ult, I can live.
Yep.
And that's as far as it goes. Use your ult, you live. Rather than, but we need this ultimate later on to defend high ground. Like, doesn't matter.
And it's the same thing that makes a really good poker player. It's not about how you maximize your wins. It's about minimizing your losses. So it's better to take the little hit, right? I'll die. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll respawn in what, 25, 30 seconds? And Roche isn't up. Whereas now you've given your team, like, you're way too valuable for your team. You need to have all of your kit available for your team to have a prayer in winning a fight. And now your team is like, feels that's still that same strength, so they go out, they cast their spells, but you end up losing 4, you lose people around the map, and
now
all of a sudden...
Cheese, there's Aegis, there's no outer towers.
And isn't it crazy, like one little mistake, if you could even call it that, because Gambit, of course, had to play that properly. They recognize, look, we got this huge window.
Yeah, ooh, they might actually, for the Pango, they might catch some people. Afterlife, scouted out, blinks out. FNG is still there, though. Looks like he can just stand still, and they don't know he's there.
Oh, he's summoning people in. He's summoning people in. They know they're here.
Yeah, who is he calling in?
Ursa.
Yep, there he is.
Hello.
And they find Zayach first. They silence him up. Should be able to take him out before the rest of the fight happens. Indeed, they do. Kuman goes for his Manta, now goes for the Omnislash. The Diggs, though, FNG lives. Lucky for him. The jump didn't go to him. Another 3-second stun is enough to finish Kuman off. 2 dead. Puck also died above there.
Dude, Chen is so sick. How is this hero not picked way more?
We see him banned a lot.
Dude, Divine...
in Europe, he's picked more than in CIS, for sure, though. But what do you want to say?
No, just the kit, the summoning people in is like a busted mechanic. Io is not in the pool anymore. There's so few global mobility spells left. Coddle can't do it.
One of Dro Ranger's shortcomings is her lack of mobility, and Chen just fixes that by being able to move her across the map in just a matter of seconds. That is 99% win chance in favor of Gambit. And to your point, where you said, you know, one mistake could cost you the game, that's also what we saw in Game 2.
Yep.
Gambit made one mistake, and instantly Pango knows how to capitalize on it. And that's not to discredit Gambit, or sorry, the Pango, because you have to be in the right mindset to be able to know when to capitalize on those mistakes. But in this case, yeah, Gambit knowing what to do against the Pango's lineup now. But ultimates are up again.
It's true.
There's always a chance.
They could still win this game, Sheev. There's the thing that I like about, well, it's love or hate about Dota right now is that it seems relatively scripted, right? Both teams kind of bide their time, do their best to maximize their economy until that certain point where they're like, hey, we're strong enough where we could threaten high ground if we win an engagement, and then they look to get aggressive. And it's the product of the draft, and part of why, you know, me and Kevin were so high on this draft pick, because it gives you that silence mechanic, but in addition, they know now if they win this fight after 20 minutes or so, the Rax is dead. You win fewer fights to find the same victory, and it's so much easier to play when you have cores that itemize, or sorry, scale to do damage to both heroes and structures in comparison to, I don't know, like even Juggernaut is like some kind of a pusher, but it's not in the same, manner.
Oh, look at that Divine Favor siege creep. Whoosh. Doing a lot of damage to that tower. Sometimes you just know what's going to happen in a game, and sometimes a team can surprise you. As we saw previous game, you know, that was not expected, and that is also what makes Dota great, because there's a lot of opportunities for teams to turn things around, and perhaps this is going to be one of them. We know that the Pango is on the back foot for sure, and with Naive getting caught out first, he might even die. He has to buy back. The Will-O-Wisp is already used.
He's outranging it on Drow.
Ninja is just able to kill it off. All right.
He used both.
He used both. That's both.
Oh, God.
Sayach, you're going to die for that. Sorry, dude.
They're just camping. They don't know if Enigma is BKB
Maybe
yet,
a black hole can save this, but the damage should come from Kuman, and he's dead, and he does not have buyback.
Look at the spacing, though. A perfect penta split. They're just keeping that area in the center of them open, and you can see, like, there's no possible way Ghostic can get a black hole and enough heroes to win this game.
It has to be game.
Yeah,
Ghostic is going to try for one more last black hole. He is going to.
We got his BKB though, Sheeves.
That's it. Sometimes games go out with a bang. Sometimes games close out with just a shimmer.
A whimper.
Whimper. It's just very sad to end this way for the Pango. They had this game planned, but they never really got it off the ground because their lanes just went poof.